OnReligion. I'm your host, Steve Knight.
I think I'm gonna throw up. I think I'm gonna throw up. I think I'm gonna throw up my hands to the Lord. Throw up, throw up, throw up my hands to the Lord.
What you're listening to is the sweet vocal stylings of I Think I'm Going to Throw Up, a praise and worship song for kids from the good folks at I'll Fight Christian Radio, which of course has the website illfight.com. illfight.com. Yeah. Speaking of throwing up, segue! We've got two videos trending this week, both from the world of conservative evangelical, weirdness? I feel qualified to say that because that's where I come from. That's my tribe, if you will. I honestly don't want to talk about Pat Robertson because he just seems to be saying crazy stuff all the time these days. But his latest comments getting everyone excited are of a little different variety. Headlines are claiming Robertson denies the traditional young earth creationism in his latest viewer response comments. See for yourself.
This is Michelle, who says, I have 3 teenage boys and now 2 of them are questioning the Bible. This scares me. They tell me if the Bible is truth, then I should be able to reasonably explain the existence of dinosaurs. This is just one of many things they question. Even my husband is agreeing with them. How do I explain things to them that the Bible doesn't cover? I'm so afraid that they're walking away from God. My biggest fear is to not have my children and husband next to me in God's kingdom.
Look, I know people are probably trying to lynch me when I say this, but Bishop Ussher, God bless him, wasn't inspired by the Lord when he said it all took 6,000 years. It just didn't. There was a time that these giant reptiles were on the earth, and it was before the time of the Bible. So don't try to cover it up and make like everything was 6,000 years. That's not the Bible. That's Bishop Ussher. And so if you fight revealed science, you're going to lose your children. And I believe in telling them the way it was.
Okay, the video that's really climbing this week is little old Angus T. Jones, the half man from CBS's 2.5 Men, who came out this week as a born-again Seventh-day Adventist and trashed the third most popular network comedy, which pays him $350,000 per episode, calling it filth and telling people not to watch it anymore.
Jake from 2.5 Men means nothing. He is non-existent character. He's 2.5 Men. If you watch 2.5 Men, please stop watching 2.5 Men. I'm on 2.5 Men. I don't want to be on it. Please stop watching it. Please stop filling your head with filth. Do some research on the effects of television and your brain, and I promise you'll have a decision. You'll have a decision to make when it comes to the television, and especially with what you watch on the television. It's bad news. It's bad news.
So that's the stuff that's gotten all the attention. More than 2 million views in 3 days. But that's just a small portion of the complete half-hour interview posted by a guy named Christopher Hudson, who calls himself the Forerunner and who has a YouTube following of tens of thousands of subscribers. This guy has bashed Obama with his videos and even accused the Vatican of conspiring with the Illuminati to brainwash people. The Forerunner Chronicles website is filled with all kinds of end times, Book of Revelation, apocalyptic stuff, which you hear coming out in the interview with Jones when he keeps referring to the Laodicean church. You know, those were the guys that Jesus said in the Book of Revelation, I wish you were either hot or cold, but because you're lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth.
If we're lukewarm, and if if we're behaving like the Laodiceans, it might cause it is going to cause a lot more harm, because people will see us and be like, oh, I can be a Christian and be on a show like 2.5 Men. You cannot be a true God-fearing person and be on a television show like that. I know I can't. I'm not okay with what I'm learning, what the Bible says, and being on that television show. So, you know, you go all or nothing.
A spokesperson for the Seventh-day Adventist Church wisely distanced the denomination from Hudson's crazy conspiracy theories, saying he's not an SDA minister. Of course, Angus Jones vouches for him as a fellow Seventh-day Adventist and a great role model. You know, much better than those salacious goofballs on 2.5 Men. So here's the thing. I watched this whole documentary featuring clips from several interviews with Angus T. Jones conducted by Mr. Forerunner Hudson, and it all seems very exploitive to me. This kid is young in his faith. He's gone from no faith to die hard, on fire, choose you this day who you will serve, black and white, heaven or hell. And of course, what happens? It erupts into a firestorm of controversy, and he turns around the next day and issues an apology. In a written statement, Mr. Jones says, "I apologize if my remarks reflect me showing indifference to and disrespect for my colleagues and a lack of appreciation of the extraordinary opportunity of which I have been blessed." Blessed to the tune of $350,000 per episode, which apparently young Mr. Jones has decided he does not want to give up in order to follow the conservative version of Jesus he's accepted into his heart. What do you think about this whole Angus T. Jones situation? I mean, was he exploited by an off-the-wall Christian YouTuber? Or was this some kind of elaborate publicity stunt? Or what? What do you think happens to this kid now? I mean, will we see him again next week on OnReligion saying something else? Let's hope not. And no more Pat Robertson for a while, too, okay?
I think I'm gonna hurl. I think I'm gonna hurl. I think I'm gonna hurl my sins out the door. Hurl, hurl, hurl my sins out the door.
Okay, friends, which religion and spirituality videos are you pondering this week? Tweet me those links at Sogo Media, hashtag OnReligion, and subscribe to the Sogo Media YouTube channel to get updated on every video that gets posted, including this show, every week. Thanks for watching OnReligion. We're watching religion and spirituality on the web.